Hello, how are you kids? I hope all of you are doing fine at your home. Okay, so we are doing our geography chapter number 2, that is interior of the earth. And in the previous session, we have read about the interiors of the earth, like we have studied about the mantle, the crust, and the core. Now we are moving forward with the chapter. So here, Mrs. Mitali, your social science educator, and today we are going to read about the different topics, that is rocks and the minerals, type of the rocks, the rock cycle, and most importantly, that why these rocks and minerals which are found on the earth are very important for us. So let's start today's session. First of all, I think we should be understanding like what is rock and what are the minerals. So here we are. The earth crust is made up of the rocks. These rocks are formed of single minerals or by the combination of minerals. Like we know what is earth crust, and the whole earth crust is made up of rocks. That is made up of rocks. Now we will study about the type of rocks also. But these rocks, ये जो rocks हैं ये किस चीज से बनी है? These rocks are made up of minerals. Minerals can be one single mineral also, and a rock, one single rock can be formed with the combination of the minerals also. Rocks may be of various types and may be formed in different ways that we are going to study in the type of the rocks. They may be solid, they may be hard, or may be very loose material. They do not have any, इनकी कोई अपनी फिक्स्ड केमिकल composition नहीं होती. Different rocks, different minerals, different compositions. Then what are the minerals? Minerals are the naturally occurring chemical substances. They do not have the chemical composition. The things that we find inside the rocks, these are called the minerals that we extract and that we use in our daily life. That is called the minerals, and they also do not have any fixed chemical properties nahi hoti. At different prices, suppose different coal. Coal is a mineral which can be found, which is found there. तो अगर कॉल मुझे एक प्लेस पे ए प्लेस पे मिल रहा है, उसकी केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज डिफरेंट होगी. एंड इफ आई एम फाइंडिंग अ सेम मिनरल कोल एट बी प्लेस, तो उसकी केमिकल जो कॉम्पोजिशन है दैट कैन बी डिफरेंट. क्लियर? Type of rock. So how many type of rocks are there? Mainly the rocks are divided into three major types. One is your igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. These are your main three type of rocks. The first is your igneous rocks. In the igneous rocks, we are going to read about the subdivision, that is extrusive igneous rocks and intrusive igneous rocks. So let us start with the first, which is your igneous rocks. See, igneous rocks, they are formed from the solidification of the molten magma. We know, हमने अभी अभी पढ़ा है last session में, that earth के जो नीचे है, बहुत नीचे अर्थ के, what we have the magma, molten magma. जब ये molten magma बाहर आ जाता है, when it comes out and it cool down, ठंडा हो जाता है, then it creates the igneous rocks. और ये कैसे बाहर आएगा? How it will come outside? It will come with the help of the chambers, or you can say the volcanic eruptions. They are formed when the magma rises from deep underground chambers and solidified at or near the earth surface. ठीक है, वोल्केनो है, वोल्केनो इरप्शन हुआ, मैग्मा जो है वो बाहर निकला, बाहर निकल के इट गॉट सॉलिडिफाइड, वो कूल डाउन हो गया, ठंडा हो गया, सॉलिड हो गया. So that creates the igneous rocks. And one thing, these rocks are called the primary rocks. Why? Because these are the first rocks that appeared on the earth. जो सबसे पहली रॉक हमको हमारी अर्थ पे नजर आई वो क्या थी? Igneous rocks. And जो बाकी की rocks हैं, that sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks, they are made from the igneous rocks only. So this igneous rocks will be clear to you with the help of the video. So see the video and understand what is igneous rocks and how they are formed, what are the types, what are extrusive igneous rocks and what are intrusive igneous rocks.
The Earth's crust is made up of different types of rocks. The rocks which make up the maximum volume of the Earth's crust are called igneous rocks. The word igneous has been derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. These rocks are associated with volcanic eruptions. Let's study more about igneous rocks and how they are formed. The liquid rock matter that we see coming out from volcanoes is called magma. It is a hot liquid made of melted minerals. When this magma reaches the Earth's surface, it is known as lava. The cooling and the solidification of lava at the Earth's surface result in the formation of extrusive igneous rocks, which are also known as volcanic rocks. Due to rapid cooling, their crystals are fine-grained. However, some of the magma can't come out and settles inside the surface. The magma cools slowly beneath the Earth's surface as it is completely surrounded by the soil and rock present there. The cooling and the solidification of magma at a depth within the Earth's crust result in the formation of rocks having large crystals, known as intrusive igneous rocks. So we have learned that igneous rocks are of two types: extrusive igneous rocks and intrusive igneous rocks. It is interesting to know that igneous rocks were the first to be formed and are also known as primary rocks. Pumice and obsidian are extrusive igneous rocks. Pumice is used in making lightweight concrete, and obsidian is used in ornaments. Granite and diorite are intrusive igneous rocks. Both are used as building material.
Yes, I hope the igneous rocks are clear to everyone. It's so easy, it's just very simple. When the magma comes out and solidified, the rock that is formed is called igneous rocks, that is called the primary rocks, because first of all, these rocks appears on the earth, and second thing, these rocks are the rocks that are the basic root for the formation of all other rocks. So moving forward to the second type of rocks, that is sedimentary rocks. So let us study the rocks on the earth's surface are exposed to the agents of erosion, wind and running water or the glacier. अब rock है, rock is there in the environment, rock is not hidden somewhere ना. तो rock जो कहाँ पर है वो environment में है, environment में है तो ये जो हमारा erosion होता है, erosion happens because of the water, erosion happens because of the wind. So what happens now is जो हमारी igneous rocks हैं, they are worn down and broken into smaller fragments, है ना. वो क्या हो जाते हैं, because of the erosion they get weaker, they get breakdowns and it is converted into small fragments. Temperature changes also wear down the rocks, breaking them into smaller pieces. These broken fragments of the rocks particularly are carried by wind, rivers, glaciers and deposits in lakes, seabeds ocean floors, etc. So what happens, ये जो हमारा जो big igneous rocks था, it is divided, it is break down into smaller pieces, and because of the erosion the smaller pieces starts traveling. वो क्या करते हैं, traveling start कर देते हैं, and they travel to some lakes, some seabeds, some oceans, to the water bodies, and gradually layer upon layer, layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of fine sediments are collected, and due to the weight of the overlying layers, heat of the interior and the chemical reaction, the sediments are compressed, cemented and hardened. So basically what happened is, एक layer आई, दूसरी लेयर उसके ऊपर आ गई, ऊपर ऊपर ऊपर, so it has so many layers are there, तो वो जो नीचे वाली लेयर है वो तो बिल्कुल ही दब गई है ना, so it get compressed, उसके ऊपर इतना प्रेशर आ गया कि वो दबती चली गई, so वो धीरे 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 क्या हो जाती है, it gets hardened, बहुत ज्यादा strong हो जाती है, and these rocks are called the sedimentary rocks. Clear? Very easy. Igneous rocks break down because of the erosions, travels, and then the layers on layers are created. After a long time period, the rocks, the lower layers, they get so hardened, that is called your sedimentary rocks. When the sediments are deposits, animals, plants, this is the speciality of the sedimentary rocks. Because see, when erosion is happening, जब erosion हो रहा है, तो erosion ये नहीं देख रहा ना कि रास्ते में पेड़ आ रहा है तो पेड़ को नहीं बहाएगा, है ना? If some, it is going to water bodies, so some dead animals are there, so it will just carry along. So what happened there is, in the sedimentary rocks, all these things are get buried down. वो layers के अंदर bury होती जाती है. So the minerals that we get from these layers are the organic minerals in the nature. See, when the sediments are deposited, animals, plants, and microorganisms get trapped within the layers. These are preserved as fossils. This is a unique characteristics of sedimentary rocks, and it is very useful in the study of the past. Large deposits of dead plants and animals trapped within the sediments get changed into coal and petroleum over long geological periods. These are called the fossil fuels that we know now. पढ़ा था ना junior classes में, what are the fossil fuels, the buried deep inside, धीरे 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 they convert into the fossil fuels. So now here is your fossil fuels. Sandstones, these are some example. Sandstone made of grains of sand and shale are the example of mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. Limestones may be chemically formed by settling down of calcium carbonate. It may also be formed from organic deposit, that is the clustering of the seashells. Sedimentary rocks contains various valuable minerals like iron, or manganese and bauxite. Sandstone and limestone are the building material जो अपने घरों में use करते हैं ना, building material जो buildings बनाने के लिए use होता है, that all are the part of sedimentary rocks, and this also will be more clear to you with the help of this video. So see the video and enjoy the video.
Sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are those rocks which are layered or stratified, and they are formed with the agents of running water, wind or glacier. These agents break and erode the igneous and other rocks and transport them to a certain place where they are deposited. The deposition of such material occurs in layers. These rocks consist of a number of layers and often contain fossils of animals and plant life. These rocks are comparatively soft. They are classed into the following subtypes: mechanically formed sedimentary rocks, chemically formed sedimentary rocks, organically formed sedimentary rocks. Mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. When the rocks are exposed to weather changes and to other agents of erosion, they are broken and thus carried away to a particular site where such material is deposited in layers, and thus this type of rocks are formed. Sandstone, shale, clay, gravel, etc. are the examples of such rocks. Chemically formed sedimentary rocks. These rocks are formed by the process of evaporation of water containing mineral salts in the solution. In deserts or shallow lakes, water gets evaporated, leaving behind a layer of salts. These salts get consolidated into sedimentary rocks. Common salt, gypsum, potash, and nitrates are some of the examples of chemically formed sedimentary rocks. Organically formed sedimentary rocks. These rocks are formed by the accumulation of the remnant part of organisms, plants and animals. Coal, limestone, chalk, etc. are some examples of this type of rock.
I hope sedimentary rocks अब सबको clear हो गए होंगे. Easy to understand. There's nothing very difficult to understand actually. So moving forward to the last type of rocks, that is our metamorphic rocks, which are somewhere similar to your sedimentary rocks, but the organic matter there is high than the metamorphic rocks. So let's see how these are formed. Metamorphic rocks are formed when existing igneous and sedimentary rocks are changed by the great pressure or intensive heat or both. ये जो भी हमारी rock है, whether that is igneous or whether that is sedimentary, जब what happens when because of the great pressure and the extensive heat, बहुत ज़्यादा heat, या दोनों ही चीजें हैं, pressure भी है और heat भी बहुत ज़्यादा है. So what happens? The chemical properties, the appearance and the composition of a new rock is much different from the original rock. जो igneous rock या जो भी sedimentary rock थी, because of the pressure, because of the heat, everything is changed in it. Chemical composition change हो गया, उसका looks, उसके appearance, everything is changed. So a new rock is formed, totally new rock is formed. That is your metamorphic rocks. And one thing which is very special about these rocks is these rocks are very hard. These rocks are very hard. Why? Because of so much heat and so much pressure. क्या हो जाता है? These rocks are getting very hard. Some examples are like granite changes into gneiss, sandstone changes into quartzite, shells changes into slate, limestone changes into marbles, coal changes into graphite. So these all are the rocks, sedimentary or the igneous. Now these are converting into the metamorphic rocks. Two important building materials, marble and the slate, are metamorphic rocks. The slate used to make blackboards, जिस पे हम लिखते हैं, chalk used for writing on blackboard, and the graphite used for making the pencils. That these are the things that we use in our daily life. So these all are the metamorphic rocks. So let's see the video for the same.
Metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are either igneous or sedimentary rocks but have undergone a change due to excessive heat and pressure. Such changed rocks are called metamorphic rocks. Due to excessive heat, limestone changes into marble, and due to excessive pressure, shale changes into slate, coal changes into graphite, and sandstone changes into quartzite.
Moving forward to the next topic, that is your rock cycle, which is easy to understand. If you understand all three type of rocks, you will easily understand what is the rock cycle. So the rock cycle कहाँ से start होगी? Obviously igneous rock से, और igneous rocks किससे बनी है? Magma से. So let's find where is the magma. Here is the magma, right? So this is magma. Magma is getting up because of the heat, and from where it is coming out, this create the extrusive igneous rocks. And if it is inside the earth crust, it is called intrusive igneous rocks. Clear? तो ये तो हमारी हो गई igneous rocks. Now what happens is, because of the erosion or the withering, these rocks are broken down into the small parts which we have studied. That small part transport from a place to other place. तो देखो ये ट्रांसपोर्टेशन हो गया, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के बाद डिपॉजिट होते गए जो sediments थे. Sediments means the smaller part which has broken down from the igneous rocks, that have lithification, means the formation of the लेयर्स, तो वो धीरे धीरे यहाँ पर क्या बनती गई, लेयर्स बन गई। एंड जब वन ऑन वन लेयर आती गई तो व्हाट हैपेंड, तो नीचे की लेयर्स थी वो प्रेस होती गई एंड इट कन्वर्टेड इनटू द सेडिमेंट्री rocks. And why we call this a rock cycle, because the withering or the erosion that can happen from here also, ये हो सकता है ये यहीं से ही वापस चला गया हो सकता है कि इग्नियस रॉक से विदरिंग हो गई हो, इंट्रूसिव से भी एक्सट्रूसिव से भी। नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज, ये जो सेडिमेंट्री रॉक्स हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ द इंटेंसिव हीट, इंटेंसिव प्रेशर, इसमें क्या होता है, मेटामॉर्फिज्म। मेटामॉर्फिज्म मींस मोर hardening of the soil, of the rock, sorry. So these are formed the metamorphic rocks. इससे क्या बन गई हमारी metamorphic rocks. And these red line represent that the igneous rocks can also, because of the extensive heat or the extensive pressure, it can also get converted into metamorphic rocks. So from any stage, first of all, the igneous rocks banengi. Uske baad, from igneous rocks, it can convert into metamorphic rocks or the sedimentary rocks. Even sedimentary rocks can move forward to the metamorphic, or it can get back and it get back into the sedimentary rocks because of the weathering or the erosion of the rocks, right? So that is why this is called a rock cycle, जहाँ पे नई rocks बनती रहती हैं, पुरानी टूटती रहती हैं, hard होती रहती हैं, and this process just keeps on going. That is why we called it a cycle. Great. Moving forward to the next and the last topic of this chapter, which is the importance of rocks and the minerals. अभी तो इतना कुछ पढ़ा हमने पेंसिल बनाने के लिए, बिल्डिंग मटेरियल बनाने के लिए, isn't it? So वही लिखा है देखो, rocks are used as building materials, cosmetics in the cars, in the roads. कार किससे बनती है? कार में तो बहुत कुछ लगता है, स्टील, आयरन, प्लास्टिक. There are so many things that are used there, right? Then in the earlier time, the ages were given the name as per the rocks found. जोन सी rock मिलती थी, जैसे stone मिला, stone age, copper मिला, copper age. तो जिस भी type के rocks and minerals मिलते थे, उसी के ऊपर ही उसका नाम रख देते थे. Next, minerals. Minerals कहाँ पे यूज होते हैं? अरे बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज में, बर्तन बनाने की इंडस्ट्री, even the glass which I have, it is made in one industry, isn't it? है ना? और ये बना किससे है? This is made up of the minerals. These are used for making jewelries like gold and the diamonds and the silver. Copper के भी तो गहने आते हैं. Some minerals are used as fuels like petrol, diesel, petroleum, coal. Atomic minerals are used for generating energy and the medical purposes. जो हमारी atomic minerals हैं, वो किस लिए हम यूज करते हैं? एटॉमिक एनर्जी भी बनाते हैं, दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी रेड, इवन साइंसेस में भी हम पढ़ते हैं, और मेडिसिन में भी यूज होते हैं. एंड सम मिनरल्स आर यूज्ड एज दी fertilizers. Fertilizers क्या होते हैं? Which we give to our soil to increase the fertility. So some minerals are there which are very important for the soil, and it increases the fertility of the soil. So there are so many uses of the rocks and the minerals. Okay, I hope this topic, this chapter is clear to all of you. So thank you so much for giving the time. If you have any doubt, you can write to me below in the comments, or you can ask me in the Zoom, in the classroom, wherever you want to ask. Okay, so bye bye, read the chapter and understand the concept.